Hi, I'd like to outline a hypothesis I have had in the hopes that you lot can rip it apart. Here goes. Imagine if Einstein was wrong about how he perceived time and space. Not completely, just about how they interact with each other. Einstein explains that time and space exist as an interwoven fabric. I want to attempt to explain an alternative perspective on how the two are connected. The only real change I make is that time flows perpendicular through space, as opposed to being interwoven with it. Imagine if space was a four-dimensional superfluid that looks kind of like a sponge. Our universe being one of the voids inside, and our three dimensions being the surface of the inside of this void. Now imagine if the sponge was flexible, constantly moving and stretching, each of the voids growing in size until they merge or tear. The driving force acting on the space superfluid being time itself. As time flows through the voids, it is unencumbered, and as it flows through the superfluid, it causes the superfluid to stretch. From the perspective inside one of the voids, it would give the impression of an expanding universe. The stretching caused by the force induced from the flow of time is capable of stretching space to the point that it will tear. This tearing is the beginning of a new void in the four-dimensional sponge, or another universe. As the superfluid is stretched, it tears, releasing a burst of energy we refer to as the Big Bang. The initial expansion is rapid and hot as the tear widens to equilibrate with the force of time. At this point there is a slight imbalance, as the tear is not uniform. The four dimensions of space have been ripped apart to fray at the edges, so to speak. The residual energies of these four dimensions are what we refer to as the strong and weak nuclear forces, and electromagnetism, and the field of empty space. As the early universe stabilizes immediately after the Big Bang, the flow of time causes it to expand. It cools, condensing some of the energies into matter. Prior to forming complete matter, there's a possibility of unstable particle black holes and stars that probably wouldn't have survived, but may spread material around the early universe. The constant flow of time has an effect on matter. As time flows through the void, it has no interference. As it approaches matter, it flows through the matter but has a drag effect on the matter, pulling it towards the empty space field. This happens because matter itself comes from the energies that comprise the four-dimensional superfluid. As time flows through it, the fluid is disturbed and stretched, causing the emergent force we understand as gravity. The issue with gravity being emergent, it allows for time to push the matter beyond a horizon that our three dimensions cannot detect or interact with. This results in the appearance of more gravity than the associated matter available to detect would cause. This is currently understood as dark matter. In the center of a black hole, matter is compressed to a singularity where the strong and weak nuclear forces the electromagnetic force and the empty space field are twisted back into the four-dimensional superfluid, which is why the resulting equations end up with zero. The same force of time can explain the force of gravity, dark energy, dark matter, and what happens at the center of a black hole. It is also responsible for causing the Big Bang and motion in the universe. Hawking radiation could be the point at which the black hole can no longer twist matter into empty space. The horizon begins to shrink as the gravity well reduces. The matter having been converted, the force of time can no longer maintain the surface area of the horizon, and over time the black hole begins to disappear. That's video 1. More will follow.